So it's confirmed that I'll be able to use you on my team in the Crown Tundra? Will you be able to become the mega-evolving death machine that I had in the previous generations? Let's see what else the Crown Tundra has to offer for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Roll the intro. Greetings, fellow adventurers. Fred here, and welcome to the Digital Adventure, the show that explores RPGs in the digital space. Now, Pokemon's home console debut, was fraught with controversy during the E3 before the game's release, with the announcement that they will be doing some serious cuts to the Pokédex for this region in terms of the numbers of Pokemon in the game, and dodge the question whether they will be bringing the Pokemon back as DLC. And in the months since Pokemon Sword and Shield's release, they have seriously done a lot of DLC content for this game. The second pack just released at the time of this recording a couple weeks ago. Oh, and now we're going to look at what I do like, what I don't like, and what this could mean going forward for the franchise. So, without further ado, let's dive into it. Once the Crown Tundra is successfully loaded into your game, you will get the Crown Pass deposited into your inventory, which will permit you to take the train to the Crown Tundra from Wedgehurst Station. And you will, when you first arrive, you will be greeted by the sight of a father and daughter having an argument. And the father, whose name is Peony, he wants to take his daughter on adventures to see legendary Pokemon, but his daughter, she's having none of that, and she's wanting to take part in the Max Raid adventures, which means she's a hot-blooded and really likes to battle. And she convinces you to have a battle with her father, which gives her the ample opportunity to slip away and take part in the Dynamax adventures. And he's just so impressed, and Peony is so impressed with your skill in battle that he makes you the lead of his expedition into the Crown Tundra, which really makes me question Peony's ability as an explorer, if he's just going to take some random kid off the street that he just met and make him an expedition leader. It's very strange for me, but honestly, I found Peony at the start of the DLC to be a bit annoying as a character, but without giving too much away, he does get more interesting as the story goes on. And that pretty much kicks off your introduction to the Crown Tundra with a wide variety of Pokemon to capture and train for battle. And speaking of said Pokemon, this expansion brings back boatloads of my old favorites. It's the most notable one for me personally is good old Salamence, but we'll get to that in a moment. And as this expansion brings back all the legendary Pokemon, on some even with new forms. But the Ultra Beasts, first shown in the Alola region in Gen 7, have also found their way back into the world of Pokemon. Save for a few select legendaries, who are integrated into the story of the Crown Tundra. The bulk of the returning legendaries are the selling point of the Dynamax Adventures feature introduced in the expansion, in which make you do this kind of turn-based dungeon crawler with you and 3 others, taking on multiple Dynamax Pokemon and eventually taking on a Dynamax Legendary, where when you defeat it, it has a 100% capture rate, so you can use whatever ball you want on the Legendary. But aside from the Legendaries, there's a ton of new Pokemon to capture and train, such as the Electivire and Magmortar lines, which are 2 of my favorite Pokemon. There's Metagross and so many more. But the Pokemon, as I said earlier, that I was most excited to have back is my Salamence. And I swear, this game, with all the level up mechanics that they have added into the game, I mean, this generation was the fastest I ever got a Salamence to level 100, and it's turned into quite the death machine in its own right, despite Mega Evolution not being back in the game yet, as far as we know. Overall, I like the Crown Tundra a lot better than the Isle of Armor in terms of the Pokemon they brought back into the games. There's just one thing they could have done to make this even better. Mega Evolution. I've been begging for this to come back ever since they announced DLC, and they still have a few Pokemon that can Mega Evolve that they have not yet brought back into the games. So I think they're waiting until they have them all back in the game until they bring back Mega Evolution. But I hope they do at some point. But there's also the question of the rumors flying around about how Gen 4 remakes in the franchise. I personally would be down for that. As a fan of Pokemon, because I have a lot of fond memories of Gen 4. However, there are the concept of DLC in a Pokemon game does introduce some interesting implications, because remember, they only did the remakes to bring Pokemon that couldn't be transferred from older games to the current games. So they could be transferred. It wasn't exactly the case with these, so they could just, instead of making the remakes, make DLC that brought the Pokemon back, and the way I picture it is they could have 2 small pieces of DLC that add more Pokemon back, and then they could have a bigger piece of DLC that is inspired by a previous region, in this case, the Sinnoh region. And when you have you can have the region in glorious full 3D, and you can introduce new features and much more this way. Will it happen? It's most likely wishful thinking, but those are my thoughts on what could happen, not what will. So those have been my thoughts on the Crown Tundra DLC in terms of my first impressions. Let me know what you've thought of it if you've experienced it in the comments down below. And in the meantime, if you enjoyed what you saw here, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss another video. You can support the channel on these platforms. You can check me out on my social media. And if you want to get in touch with me, there's my P.O. box and my email. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the Trail of Adventure.